In this video, we are starting our road trip along the northern coast of France. That's right, we're gonna drive the whole roughly 1000 kilometers, starting with Hauts-de-France, continuing into Normandy and finishing in Brittany. And because we're kind of completionists, we're starting at Bredounes, the northernmost point of France. The plan is to drive all the way down to the Cap de la Chavre, and we want to do it all on a single gas tank. More on that later. The Bredounes, as the name implies, is beach and dunes. That's cool, but we want to see the rugged cliffs. So let's head back to the car, fill up our gas tank and start our journey south. We are going on this journey with our camper van. This means we will have to find accommodations along the way and do this in the busiest season in whole France. It's August, everybody's on vacations, everybody's fleeing the cities and going to the seas. It's going to be pure chaos and carnage. So I have no clue how far we can actually go on the full tank. Like one bar on an indicator takes us roughly 120 to 150 kilometers. So this was with like optimal conditions, I think, like on a highway basically. I hope we still can get to like 1000, 1200 kilometers easily. So let's see how it goes. If we're in the Normandy and the tank is already half empty, that's good. If it's less, I guess we have just to beeline for a final destination.
With the gas tank full, we're ready to hit the road towards our first stop.
We are heading towards our first stop on this journey, the Cap Blanc-Nez. It's roughly 90 kilometers away, so it's not very far. We're heading there because it's supposed to have a spectacular view. The cliffs are white, and an additional cool part about it is also you can see UK and the cliffs of Dover if the view is clear. So very, very cool. You get two white cliffs, UK, France, and some water in between. What else can you hope for? And we have arrived at the Cap, except we actually didn't because there's a height restriction there with a parking spot, and with our camper van there's no way we can park there. So this is actually a close by parking spot, pretty close, 3 kilometers. So what we have to do now is go up all the way up, but first down actually into town to reach the actual Cap. So, well, this can be also positive. Maybe there are some cool shots to be made here. Let's go.
Then, just a few steps into a parking area, a trail catches our eye. Signs point to Cap Blanc-Nez, and we decide to leave the town behind and follow it. A choice that, as you'll see soon, turns out to be absolutely worth it.
Oh wow, we just turned up this hill and where you can actually see it. You can actually see the cliffs of Dover from here and they're huge. I would have thought there's like tiny little strips of white, but no, they're like, oh my God, this is huge. Wow, I'm so impressed. I never would have imagined that it's so close. I guess this puts a little bit of a damper on the tunnel that runs beneath. I mean, it's probably still super impressive engineering and I don't even know why I'm going on about this tunnel now, but like, I kind of imagine this to be way bigger, the gap, basically the street, right? And to be able to see this so clearly, wow, this is so impressive. And this is just the beginning. This is UK, this is the white cliffs of Dover. Now we just have to get way closer to actually see the Cap Blanc-Nez. Let's go. So these are the cliffs of Dover, but now we have to get really down to the beach to actually see the Cap Blanc-Nez. And we have actually just a couple of minutes of time, maybe half an hour, because this beach is only accessible when the tide is low. So yeah, we really have to hurry to kind of like get a look on them from below. So yeah, let's sprint. Woo, this was so stressful. But we're down here, almost at beach level. But we'll have to hurry still because probably in 20-30 minutes, the beach is gonna disappear almost entirely. And then, yeah, we'll have to kind of be at a specific point so to not get trapped. Because actually there are also another set of cliffs, which is the cliff, it's like the Grey Cliffs. And you can walk across the whole beach, but I don't think we have so much time today. Well, let's see what we find.
We walk along the beach towards Cap Blanc-Nez, racing the tide. Then we hit a surreal cliff, dripping water non-stop. Apparently chalk acts like a sponge, soaking up rain and sea spray. And once it hits a layer of clay, the water seeps out. It feels otherworldly, like exploring a strange hidden ecosystem carved into the rock. A gust of wind snaps us back to reality. We're still by the ocean and the tide is creeping in. We keep walking and suddenly a cave.
Oh. What do you say to this cave?
The stones scattered around the beach are just as surreal. Draped in seaweed, they look like animals with long, shaggy green fur, all sleeping peacefully. Naturally, I tried to pet one. And to my surprise, they let me.
I asked some locals here and the flood is actually coming just at 6 or so. So I mean, it already started, but basically we still have a lot of time. This looks phenomenal, spectacular. It kind of feels like UK or England and France are trying to having a small face-off here, you know, who has the better cliffs. But yeah, for now, we're just gonna wander around here a little bit more, enjoy the view and check out what the locals are doing.
Very cool. Oh, okay. Very cool.
Oh, oh, this one is huge.
Yeah, it's the same.
Yeah. Today, you all got this today?
Today.
Ah, okay.
By the way, Cap Blanc-Nez literally means white nose. The chalk cliffs glitter brilliantly when the sun hits them just right. I let the final shots do the talking. Back in our car, we are hungry and tired of the 3 hours hike. But we still have an hour of driving to do to get to Boulogne-sur-Mer, as the sun is beginning to set. Where a free, hopefully cozy camping spot awaits us that will allow us to visit the nearby town on the next day.
Okay, we are super done for today. Just gonna prep some food and have some lunch. Dinner. We're so done. Anyway, what's left is a final recap of how much gas we used up. So yeah, there's actually 1 bar gone and we've driven 120 kilometers roughly. So we are where we should be roughly. I think we're doing pretty good so far. Anyway, let's wrap up the day. Hey everybody, it's the next day and we're heading towards the first destination, Boulogne-sur-Mer. It's the biggest fishing port in France and there's a fishing market in the morning. So we have to hurry to get the train because it's actually already pretty late and we have to get there at least in time, so there's still some fish around. Let's go, catch a train. Okay, we are heading straight to a fishing market. It's only open until 12:30 and it's already almost 11. By the way, 40,000 people live in this town and 7,000, so almost 1/4 of them work in the fishing industry. That's insane, right?
Arriving at the market and looking at a few open stalls, today's catch is all about crustaceans. Lobsters, crabs and oysters dominate the displays. And I'm seriously tempted to buy some. Unfortunately, our van kitchen isn't yet equipped to handle hard shells. But one day, we'll definitely need to upgrade our gear.
And we are out of the market. Honestly, it was much smaller than what I was expected, but we still got something and the variety was there. Now we're heading towards the Basilica, the Old Town and the UNESCO Belfry.
We enter the historic part of Boulogne-sur-Mer through the old gates of its preserved medieval walls, where cobblestones and silence replace the noise of traffic. Around the corner, the 12th century belfry greets us. Originally part of the town's defenses, it later became a symbol of civic pride and independence. Just across the road stands the Grand Courthouse from 1852, with tall classical columns and statues of Charlemagne and Napoleon on its facade. Walking further, Boulogne surprises with street art installations and a dainty garden in front of the town hall. We wander the cobblestone streets on our way through the old town and towards the Basilica of Notre Dame and step inside. The space immediately feels monumental. The soaring dome, the long central hall lined with massive columns, and the pale stone catching the light in shifting shades of grey and gold. Every sound bounces off the walls, filling the church with a quiet echo that makes you lower your voice almost instinctively. The basilica was completely rebuilt between 1850 and 1870. When parts of the arches collapsed in 1921, they were reconstructed and reinforced with concrete. That unlikely blend of old stone and modern strength is the reason the basilica stood firm through World War II, a structure that looks fragile in its beauty, yet proved unshakable.
Okay, we are done with the sightseeing and heading towards the restaurant. Honestly, we didn't bring enough time to explore everything a little bit more leisurely. Apparently there are some amazing crypts beneath the basilica, but we simply didn't plan enough time. We're gonna grab some food and then head back to the train.
We leave the old town the same way we entered, through one of the city's wall gates. We arrive at the train station in time. But there's no train. We end up waiting another 2 hours, getting home quite late. Plans for the day are ruined, so we decide to continue our trip the next day. New day, new me. We might not have made it where we wanted to yesterday, but we're back on the road for another 70 kilometers, heading toward our last stop in Hauts-de-France, the Baie of the Somme. Just thinking about it makes me super excited. This place is famous for its grey seals. And if we're lucky, we might spot them bobbing in the water or lounging on the sand. The bay is also a hotspot for migratory birds, so the skies are usually full of life. We can't wait to experience it all for ourselves. We arrive at the only free camping spot in the area, and it's actually super convenient. Just a short bike ride from a prime seal watching spot. Let's just hope it's not full.
Whew. All right, this was actually really the last spot, so we are super lucky to get something here. It's close to the seals. We're gonna chill a little bit, eat something, and then in the evening head to the seals.
We set off towards the bay, where it's a popular spot for seal watching just 10 minutes from our car, home to around 400 seals. We're aiming for low tide in the evening, since the seals only lounge on the sandbags at that time. Climbing up the stony bank, we look out over the seabed, stretching as far as the eye can see. But to reach the best viewing spot, we have to run a good 200 to 500 meters across the ocean floor. It's a bit like navigating a labyrinth, dodging puddles of seawater left behind by the tide. Finally, we reach the shoreline and scan the horizon for any seal movement. Nothing. Just some huge rocks in the distance. We stare for a while, hoping to conjure up a seal or two, but no luck. So we start heading back before the returning tide catches us off guard. The next day, determined, wake up super early to catch the next low tide. We climb up the stone bank again and still no sea puppers in sight. The sun is shining though, and we spot one animal, a land pupper wandering nearby. You get it? Cause seals are sea dogs, right? Anyway, refusing to give up, we return a third time in the evening. The lighting is magical, but our hopes aren't high. And then we climb the stone bank for hopefully the final time. We see nothing at first. But as we get closer to the shore, there they are.
Alright, we actually got lucky today. This is probably the most exciting I've ever been about black, white and brown spots on the horizon. I'm not gonna lie, I barely can make anything out. This might just be stones. Maybe yesterday we thought these were also stones. Actually, I think the tide was a little bit higher. But with the camera zoom, I can actually see some movement there. It's pretty cool. It's not National Geographic level, I would say. I mean, maybe close, I don't know. But it's pretty cool still. So it's a full success. Oh yeah, look at this guy go. I think what happened yesterday was basically we came a little bit later, and so I think they're basically sleeping now, right? Because we hunt during the high tide and now they kind of just enjoy their feast and just sleep, you know? And so because of that and because of the lighting being a little bit darker yesterday, we just thought this is just a couple of stones, right? But actually, with a little bit of moving and today being a little bit earlier, you can see them still in the water, and yeah, you can see them splash away here and there. So yeah, obviously seals, very, very cool.
I checked my footage from the previous day, and yep, I'm correct to assume that in fact we did see seals on the previous days. They just appeared like stones. Anyway, the water started to come in and we head back to the stone bank to enjoy some views of a perfect sunset.
And this is going to be it for the video. We have completed Hauts-de-France. These have been fantastic 200 first kilometers of our trip. The cliffs, the towns, the wildlife, it's also varied. Our challenge so far is going great. We used only roughly 10% of our gas. If you liked this video, give us a thumbs up. And if you want to get notified when we release the second part of the video, subscribe and hit the notification bell. I'll see you next time in the Normandy. So now I have to get some mussels. Let's go.